What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, and I have a banger for you because this is how you are going to win more games in UFL. This is how you will become successful. I scoured over every single game in the showdown. I went over all the different ways I was scoring, all the different ways my opponent was scoring, all the different formation and tactical setups that were working, that weren't working, both for me, against me, and I have came up with several tips that are going to help you instantly improve, instantly turn that frustration into wins. So let's get into it. First, number one, you have to first time fake shot receive and shoot second time. Simple as that. If you can't first time fake shot receive, you at least have to shoot second time. It triggers what is called a snapshot in this game, and it will guarantee you a goal. Every time you do it, you score. It's as simple as that. Next, if you can't do a second time shot or a snapshot, you have to get this angle. You are going towards the far post. Make sure your player is facing towards the far post. If not, the goalkeeper will do the same animation, do the same save, and parry the ball away. You must make sure you are facing towards that far post. Look at here. Notice my body angle. Notice the way my hips are facing, right? It doesn't matter. The keeper may be moved by your opponent, but if you're facing that far post, you put at least 2 bars of power, 3 bars preferably. It will bang into that far post. It will be a goal. If you don't face that angle, though, whichever way you're at, towards the far post, even if you're more down the middle, you have to face one post or the other. If you don't, you must finesse shot it in. Otherwise, again, if you just hit it with power, even if you're point blank, the goalie will make that save every time. You see here, I was able to snapshot this. So if you snapshot it, it doesn't matter the angle, right? Snapshot is just a second time shot, means touch, then shoot. So here, the best way to do that anytime, though, is first time fake shot receive. You get the touch, right? I acted like I was going right, I went left, and then second time. It was such a goofy animation. Ronaldo didn't even really swing his foot, but he shot second time, so it went in the net. Again, if you can't do that angle, though, facing far post, so if I was where Ronaldo was, but I couldn't shoot on the second touch, that must turn to a finesse shot. That's the only way you'll score. If not, goalie's saving it every single time. So in summary, it's very simple. Try to snapshot every time. That's a first touch, then shoot. Preferably a fake shot, receive the ball, then shoot. If you cannot do that, make sure your body is facing the far post. The player you're shooting with, body angle towards the far post, 2 to 3 bars of power. And if you can't face the far post and you can't snapshot it, right, a second touch shot, then you must finesse shot. That is the only way you'll score. Say you're on a breakaway, right? You can't snapshot that, and you're at an angle maybe down the middle. You can't really face the far post totally. Then you finesse shot it, point to one corner or the other, and finesse shot. That is the rules of goal scoring in this game. Unless you're outside of the box, then of course you are finesse shotting it anyway. And even in that case, you're going to want that angle towards one post or the other, never straight on if you can help it. So that was 3 tips for goal scoring. Number 4 is through balls. You must have a diagonal angle when you play a through ball unless your player is wide open with no defenders around. The reason for this is if you are straight on and try to play a through ball with a defender around, the ball many times will lock onto that defender. You might get lucky every now and then, but a vast majority of the time you will lose possession because the ball will lock onto the defender. If you play a through ball at an angle, as you see on the screen, all these examples, you will get through on goal almost every time. So again, play your through balls at an angle, even if you have an open lane and you should be able to play a more straight on through ball. It does not work. It's just something that's broken in the game. Hopefully they fix it. But if you're at this diagonal angle, it will be a beautiful through ball right past the defender and you will be in on goal. So that's as simple as that. Remember, through balls only with a diagonal angle. Number 5 is offensive corner kicks. You have 2 options. You either have a big man in there and you go for a straight on header, which is almost, I'd say, like 70% with a big man, 70% chance of scoring. But if you want it to move up to like 90% chance, you must do the head flick. Yes, it's a glitch. Yes, it stinks that it's still in the game, but it is. So straight on header if you have a big man, but if you want a higher percentage chance to score, do the head flick and then shoot it in with your player. It's dumb. It shouldn't be in the game because once you do the head flick, the defense cannot do anything. You're locked out. In that case, it turns into an absolute exploit because you can't defend it. So it's not a skill, it is just an exploit. But if you want to score, you either A, head straight on with your big man, or B, the more, higher percentage way of scoring, you head flick it on and then shoot it first time. Number 6, defensively, only commit to a tackle like in this situation here when you 100% know you're going to win the ball. You see my opponent takes a big touch, he's sprint dribbling, so I can come in and tackle. If they have the ball close to their body, right, or if you can just stay between them and the goal, do that, because a lot of times, especially with the L1 sprint, they're going to take a quick touch to the side. You are going to commit to a tackle, it's going to miss, and then they're going to blow by you and score, or just take a touch around you and score. Do not commit to a tackle unless you are 100% sure you can win the ball, or you're going to be in big trouble. Number 7, use your subs. Get a subroutine and use them. You see here, I'm using all my subs, and I thought it was pretty cool because I ended up getting all the trophies doing this because I never subbed before. So I just now got all the trophies. Now, before it didn't really matter because the stamina wasn't an issue. Now it is. Make sure you don't forget your subs, or you're going to catch yourself in a vulnerable position with a dead tired player, and you're going to cost yourself games because you didn't remember to substitute. And last but not least is number 8. Play the formation and tactics that fit your playstyle. This is so important because if you're going out and you're struggling, your players aren't where you want them to be based on how you play, well, that's on you. You have to look through and find the formation and then change the player roles, the tactics, according to how you play. So one thing I learned, I'll give you an example. The 4-4-2 is excellent if you like coming from that wing area and moving it into your 2 strikers, which I do love that. However, I will be changing my setup. I'm not going to reveal it here. I will just tell you why I'm changing it and what I'm looking for, and then you'll see the setup as I go forward. But the one thing I notice is those diagonal through balls work a vast majority of the time and are very dangerous. And then defensively, as long as you have 2 central defensive midfielders, you are covered. However, in the 4-4-2, I just didn't like the amount of times that I had the ball and I almost was able to play it through, but I didn't quite have that diagonal angle, right? Maybe eventually when they fix the through balls, the 4-4-2 holding could work for me exactly how I want to use it. But for now, I need a formation and a setup with 2 CDMs because I think it's very important to have that back 4 with those 2 players right in front defensively. And then offensively, I think it's very important to have those diagonal angles set up for you so you can play it through, and then on the attack, have 4 players, not 3, 4 players trying to break down an opponent, especially against more skilled, opponents. So make sure your formation and your tactics work for you. For me, I just told you those diagonal through balls are my favorite way to attack. And then when I'm all the way up trying to break down my opponent right around their box, I like 4 players. So I scour through, I find the formation that best suits me, and then use the tactics and the player roles that best suits exactly how I want to play. Make sure you're not out there frustrating yourself because you're just simply not in the right setup. With that being said, you take all of these tips, put them into your game, I guarantee you have instant improvement, you have instant success. Not everything I said in here, for instance, the corner flick, is something that I want in the game and that I want to be a thing, or even the through balls, having to play at a diagonal, having to use a formation, a setup that gives you this best chance to get this angle most often. It shouldn't be that way. You should be able to play a through ball anytime there's an open lane, just like in real football. It's just not the case, though. So if you want to be successful at the start of Season 2, you don't want to be struggling or frustrated, then add these tips into your game, right? Implement them, learn them, the whole 9. You get what I'm saying, and you will become a better player in UFL. Keep grinding, keep having fun, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.